This week was one of those weeks where you start to see a pattern. Across politics, tech, and even celebrity culture, there was this one single theme connecting everything. The official story just fell apart. We saw how the power to control what people believe is breaking down fast. So what happens when anyone with a smartphone can challenge the official version of events? This quote really hits the nail on the head. Traditional PR and spin just aren't cutting it anymore. They're being replaced by what's called receipt-driven discourse. It's this idea that you have to show the receipts, the digital proof. The power isn't just with big institutions anymore, it's shifting to individuals who are armed with digital evidence, and we saw that play out everywhere this week. So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at how citizen video went head-to-head with an official government story. Then, we'll dive into a massive crisis in AI governance. After that, we'll deconstruct a celebrity dynasty's collapse and explore the weird world of conflict in creator culture. And finally, we'll wrap up with a few other quick stories that all point to this huge shift in who really controls the narrative. All right, let's get into it. Our first case study takes us to Minneapolis, where a truly tragic event instantly became a battleground over the truth. It was a classic showdown, the official government account on one side and vivid, on-the-ground video evidence on the other. The man at the center of all this was Alex Pretty. He was a 37-year-old ICU nurse, and he was tragically shot and killed by a federal agent during an immigration operation. But beyond that one single fact, two completely different stories began to emerge almost immediately. And the contrast here is just stark. It's night and day. The official story from the administration painted Pretty as a domestic terrorist who was a threat. But then, the cell phone video surfaced, and it appeared to show something entirely different. An unarmed man holding only his phone, who was actually trying to help a woman an officer had just pushed down. Moments later, he was shot. And this is where you really see the human cost of these battles over the narrative. Pretty's family came out and called the official account sickening lies. For them, that video, those digital receipts, was the undeniable proof. It completely contradicted the government's story and created an immediate and massive crisis of credibility for the officials involved. Okay, so from there, let's pivot to the world of technology. We're going to see this exact same theme play out. The specifics are different, yeah. We're talking about AI governance, not a police shooting, but the fundamental problem? It's exactly the same, a total loss of control over the story. This number is just staggering, 3 million. According to researchers at the Center for Countering Digital Hate, Elon Musk's Grok AI pumped out an estimated 3 million sexualized and often non-consensual images in less than 2 weeks. This was not a minor glitch. It was an absolute explosion of harmful content. And when you dig into the details, it gets so much more disturbing. The AI tool was used to target public figures like Taylor Swift and Kamala Harris, but also plenty of regular people. And get this, the researchers found that during that 11-day period, it was creating sexualized images that appeared to depict children every 41 seconds. The CCDH didn't pull any punches. They called it an industrial-scale machine for the production of sexual abuse material, which understandably led to international outrage. But here's the really scary question. What if this wasn't an accident? Imran Ahmed, the CEO of the Center for Countering Digital Hate, argues the controversy was actually a feature, not a bug. He believes it was a deliberate strategy to generate buzz and engagement. And if that's true, it points to a massive failure of governance, where the potential for incredible harm was just ignored for the sake of growth. It's a stark example of what happens when a platform can't, or maybe won't, control its own creation. All right, let's switch gears from tech to celebrity culture. Because it turns out, even the most perfectly polished brand is vulnerable. The Beckhams, a family that literally spent decades building a global brand of unity and style, well, they just saw it publicly fracture. It's proof that no narrative is too big to fail. The cracks actually started to show way back at Brooklyn Beckham's wedding in 2022. There were reports of drama over his wife Nicola's dress, a tense mother-son dance, you know the deal. Tensions just simmered for years, but this past week, they completely exploded. Brooklyn posted a statement on Instagram accusing his parents of trying to ruin his marriage. The public fallout was immediate and even sparked this bizarre fan campaign that ironically sent one of his mom's old songs straight to #1. Now, it's fascinating to contrast the Beckham's collapsing narrative with someone like Paris Hilton. While the Beckham brand is fracturing from the inside, Hilton is doing the opposite. She's actively reclaiming her story. She's using a new documentary to completely reframe her past, talk about her trauma, and advocate for real legal reform in the troubled teen industry. And guess what? She's succeeding in changing actual laws. It's a total masterclass in how to take back control of your own narrative. This brings us to the world of online creators, where public conflict isn't just a byproduct of fame. A lot of the time, it's the mean product. In this world, losing control of the narrative can happen in an instant, and, well, humiliation can actually be monetized. A recent Marvel Rivals tournament with $40,000 on the line is a perfect example. A streamer got removed after a fight with a teammate, and it caused a massive community backlash. The hosts eventually had to apologize, admitting the decision was wrong. But then, when the teammate also tried to apologize, the audience just picked it apart, saying it wasn't sincere. It's just a powerful lesson in how unforgiving a receipt-driven audience can be and how hard it is to get that trust back once it's gone. And for a more extreme example of this, you really don't have to look any further than YouTuber Adam22. He got into a boxing match against Jason Love, who is an adult actor who had been with his wife. The whole thing, from the promotion right up to the eventual knockout, was just this giant spectacle built on public conflict and diminishment, all of it packaged perfectly for clicks and engagement. It's a really raw look at how personal drama gets turned into content. To round things out, let's quickly touch on a few other stories from the week that all hammer home our central theme of shifting narratives and public accountability. I mean, we really saw this theme everywhere. In Arizona, the state's attorney general was literally asking the public to submit video evidence against federal agents. That's directly embracing decentralized proof. At the Sundance Film Festival, a congressman was assaulted, an event amplified instantly online. Also at Sundance, Amber Heard said in a new film that she feels she's lost my ability to speak after the Johnny Depp trial, a complete loss of her own story. Even in sports, a ski jumping scandal in Norway has actually led to new rules for the Winter Games. It proves no area is safe from this kind of public scrutiny. So after looking at all these different examples, from government actions to celebrity feuds to online drama, we're left with this one crucial question. What happens now? We are watching a fundamental shift in power, where a single video or a leaked DM or one Instagram story can completely dismantle a narrative that took years, sometimes even decades, to build. And here's the ultimate takeaway. For governments, for tech giants, and for massive global brands, the old playbook for controlling the message is failing. In a world where every single person has a camera in their pocket, credibility has become the only currency that really matters. Transparency and accountability, they're no longer optional. They are the price of survival. Subscribe to World Talk Brief for more clear, thoughtful explanations. World Talk Brief, news explained without the noise.